In the dead of night, under a moonless Texas sky where the stars seemed to whisper secrets of forgotten wars, an elderly black woman named Alara Jones stands alone on her sprawling ranch, her weathered hands gripping a rifle older than most soldiers alive today. Little do the ruthless cartel raiders know, they're about to awaken a ghost from America's bloodiest battles. A legendary special forces sniper whose kill count could fill a graveyard. If this heart-pounding tale of vengeance, hidden heroism, and explosive twist grips you from the first shot, hit that subscribe button now. Join thousands across the USA and UK who crave stories that blend raw grit with unyielding justice, and never miss another epic narrative that keeps you up all night. The sun dipped low over the arid expanse of Alara Jones's ranch in southern Texas, casting long shadows that danced like specters across the dusty plains. At 78 years old, Alara moved with a deliberate slowness that belied the fire still burning in her soul. Her skin, dark and etched with the lines of a life hard-lived, told stories of resilience forged in the fires of adversity. Born in the segregated South during the height of Jim Crow, she had risen through barriers that would have crushed lesser spirits. But tonight, as the horizon swallowed the last rays of daylight, an uninvited storm was brewing, one that would test the mettle of this unassuming widow in ways she hadn't faced since her days in the shadows of covert operations. The cartel, known as Los Lobos Negros, had been expanding their grip on the borderlands, smuggling drugs, weapons, and worse across the Rio Grande. Led by the infamous Raul Mendoza, a man whose name struck fear into law enforcement on both sides of the border, they saw Alara's isolated ranch as the perfect staging ground for their next big operation. Unbeknownst to them, they were about to raid the home of Sergeant Major Alara Ghost Jones, a legendary figure in the annals of U.S. Special Forces, whose exploits in Vietnam, the Gulf, and classified black ops had earned her Medal of Honor she kept hidden in a dusty drawer, along with ghosts she'd rather forget. The cartel scouts arrived first, two young sicarios in a battered pickup truck, their faces obscured by bandanas, and their eyes scanning the perimeter with predatory intent. They parked a mile out, binoculars trained on the modest ranch house where a single light flickered in the window. "La Vieja vive sola," one whispered, chuckling. "Easy pickings. We'll take the place, use it as a depot." His partner nodded, radioing back to the main convoy. 6 trucks loaded with armed men, crates of cocaine, and enough firepower to level a small town. Raul Mendoza himself was in the lead vehicle, a scarred veteran of Mexico's drug wars, his tattooed arms steering the wheel with the confidence of a man who believed himself invincible. He had no idea that Alara, sipping her evening tea on the porch, had already spotted the dust trail from their approach. Her eyes, sharp as ever despite the years, narrowed. She set down her cup, her mind flashing back to 1968, the jungles of Vietnam, where she, one of the first black women to serve in elite sniper units, had lain in wait for hours, picking off Viet Cong officers with surgical precision. "Not on my land," she muttered, rising to fetch her old M24 sniper rifle from the attic, a relic she maintained with religious fervor. As the convoy rumbled closer, kicking up a plume of dust that choked the evening air, Alara positioned herself in the hayloft of her barn, a vantage point offering a clear line of sight to the driveway. The first truck pulled up, doors slamming as men spilled out, AK-47 slung over shoulders, laughing and barking orders in Spanish. Raul stepped out, his gold chains glinting under the floodlights. He ordered activated. "Search the house. Secure the perimeter," he commanded. 2 men approached the front door, kicking it open with brute force. Inside, they found an empty living room, photos on the walls of a younger Alara in uniform, surrounded by medals and commendations. But they dismissed them as relics of some forgotten relative. "Nada aquí," one shouted back. But Alara was watching, her breath steady, finger on the trigger. She squeezed off the first shot, a suppressed crack that felled the perimeter guard like a puppet with cut strings. The man crumpled silently, his comrades none the wiser at first. Panic ensued when another dropped, then a third. "Sniper!" Raul bellowed, diving behind a truck as bullets pinged off metal. The cartel fired wildly into the darkness, riddling the barn with holes. But Alara had already ghosted to a new position, her training kicking in like muscle memory. Flashback to her youth. Alara grew up in rural Alabama, daughter of sharecroppers who instilled in her a fierce independence. At 18, she enlisted in the army, defying the racism and sexism of the era. Her marksmanship was unparalleled. Instructors whispered she could thread a needle at 1,000 yards. By Vietnam, she was embedded with Green Berets. Her codename, Ghost, earned for her ability to vanish and strike without trace. She racked up over 50 confirmed kills, saving countless American lives. But the war left scars, PTSD that manifested in nightmares of blood-soaked jungles. After discharge, she married a fellow vet, bought this ranch, and tried to bury her past. But the past has a way of resurfacing, especially when intruders desecrate sacred ground. Back in the present, the cartel regrouped, Raul ordering a flanking maneuver. "Burn the barn," he roared. Torches were lit, flames licking the dry wood. Alara slipped out a side door, rolling into a ditch as fire consumed her hiding spot. She crawled through the underbrush, her knees protesting but her resolve unbreakable. From a new perch atop a rocky outcrop, she picked off the torchbearers one by one. Screams echoed as bodies hit the ground. Raul, furious, radioed for reinforcements. More trucks were en route from across the border. But Alara had a plan. She had booby-trapped the ranch years ago, remnants of her paranoid post-war days, tripwires connected to homemade explosives, pressure plates under the soil. As the first reinforcement vehicle hit a wire, it erupted in a fireball, lighting up the night like a 4th of July gone wrong. Twist 1. Unbeknownst to Alara, one of the cartel members was no ordinary thug. Miguel, Raul's right-hand man, was actually an undercover DEA agent, embedded for months to gather intel on Los Lobos Negros. As chaos unfolded, Miguel recognized the precision of the shots, not random vigilante fire, but professional hits. He had heard legends of the ghost sniper, a black woman who vanished after the wars. Could this be her? He feigned injury, slipping away from the group to approach the house stealthily. Inside, he found Alara's hidden armory, a basement stocked with grenades, night vision goggles, and classified gear she had borrowed upon retirement. "Senora Jones?" he whispered into the shadows. Alara, hearing the intrusion, trained her pistol on him from a concealed panel. "Who the hell are you?" she demanded, her voice like gravel. Miguel revealed his badge, explaining his mission. "I'm DEA. Raul's planning a massive shipment tonight. Enough fentanyl to kill half of Texas. Help me take him down." Alara hesitated. Trust didn't come easy after betrayals in her military days. But seeing the sincerity in his eyes, she nodded. Together, they devised a counterattack. Miguel would sabotage the remaining trucks from within, while Alara provided cover fire. As the night deepened, the ranch became a battlefield. Cartel men charged the house, only to trigger more traps, pits lined with spikes, rigged shotguns at doorways. Alara's rifle spoke again and again, each shot a testament to her unyielding skill. The firefight intensified. Raul, cornered but cunning, used a hostage, Alara's elderly neighbor, Mrs. Hargrove, whom they had kidnapped en route for leverage. "Come out, Vieja!" he shouted, pressing a gun to the woman's temple. Alara's heart clenched. Hargrove was like family. From her sniper nest, she lined up the shot, a near-impossible angle through wind and smoke. The bullet whistled, grazing Raul's ear and embedding in his shoulder. He dropped, screaming, as Hargrove fled to safety. Miguel seized the moment, disarming 2 guards and cuffing Raul. But twist 2, as dawn broke, revealing the carnage, bodies strewn like broken dolls, vehicles smoldering, Alara discovered a deeper conspiracy. Among Raul's possessions was a ledger, not just of drug deals, but of corrupt U.S. officials on the take. One name jumped out: Senator Harlan Thorpe, a rising star in Washington, whose anti-immigration rhetoric masked his cartel ties. Thorpe had been using the ranch's location to facilitate crossings, unaware it belonged to Alara. Worse, Thorpe was her estranged son-in-law, married to her late daughter's